guys? This is Manny Styles Manny Styles Podcast, and really happy about the feedback I got with the first podcast I posted. It was very great. Everyone was at me, everyone was calling me and telling me how great I did, and those things like that give me a lot of strength to keep doing more and focused on me, focused on giving you guys the best message, the best podcast, and yeah, the feedback was amazing. I'm gonna work harder on making a better podcast, buying better things, doing better things to make it sound better, to make it look better. But right now, this is the start. I'm very happy. Things are gonna go great. Very positive. Hopefully, I can eventually get a lot of more people to come here and do it with me. I'm really happy that my podcast is going, something for me to look forward to, something for me to do every week, and I'm really happy about that. A lot of my friends are really happy about it too. It's just one of these things that when you start it off, no one really wants to come till you actually blow up. No one wants to come through and help you with anything till you actually finally make it. And that's how things are. I remember when I was cutting hair at first, a lot of people didn't support me with the haircut thing, and it's one of those things where at first no one's gonna support you, and it's okay. So I don't expect a lot of people supporting me with this podcast at first, and a lot of followers and things like that, because you got to start from the bottom, and those things are okay. I've been through it. I've been through a lot, coming down from the bottom, to making it now. It's okay if nobody listens to me or whatever. A couple people listen to me, and that's what makes me, giving you guys the best of me. But yeah, the feedback was amazing. Just seeing those text messages on my phone early in the morning. Wow, dude, I seen your podcast. A couple of my friends were just giving me hearts. I posted it on my Facebook, and I got a bunch of likes. And I'm like, wow, dude, I'm really gonna start doing this. I'm really gonna start doing podcasts. And I was thinking about it months back. I was like, should I do podcasts or should I just not? But now that I think about it, I think it's something that's me. I love doing podcasts, I guess. I did the first podcast and I loved it. Never done it before. So I guess you're born to do something, and this is the thing that I like to do. I don't just cut hair. I just figured it out. I like to talk about the things I've been through, the things how I made it to my barbershop, and helping others with the message that I bring, hopefully can do a lot to this community. I'm all about positive things, talking about having a better life, a better success in life, good goals, being very positive in life is what's going to get you there. If you're negative, you're not going to get nowhere. So those are the things that I would like to speak about in my channel. I'm very positive when it comes to anything in the world. So yeah, we're gonna try our hardest to do the best we can. And yeah, I'm really happy. I would like to speak to you guys about another thing that happened a couple days ago. I was on the news. Dude, it was amazing. Let me tell you guys about it. A couple months ago, TMJ4 came to my barbershop, and they were like, would you like to do an interview with us? And I was like, what? I was so amazed. I was so happy. I was telling everyone about it. Everyone that came to my barbershop, hey bro, I'm gonna be on TMJ4. And people were looking at me like, yeah, okay, yeah, right. I couldn't even believe it. They said they would be here Monday. Monday morning came and they were here. Yeah, it was great. They came with all their cameras, all their team. They were here recording me. They gave me a beautiful little interview. Everything was great. I was so happy that they finally came. But the way that this all happened was the people from Lincoln Village, the one lady that's like in charge of this whole little area here, she came to me one time and she said, "Hey Manny, would you like to give a story to some students about how you got your barbershop, how you made your business grow, and how everything happened?" And I was like, "Yeah, why not?" So she said she would be here sometime in a couple weeks. She came with the 12 students. And I remember she called me and I was like, "What?" I totally forgot that she was with these students in front of my barbershop. It was on my day off, Wednesday. I told her I can do it on a Wednesday. She was in front of my barbershop with 12 students. And I remember I drove over here fast. I thought about it. Should I say no or should I say yeah? I was like, nope, I'm saying yeah. So I drove over here fast as I could. I didn't rehearse nothing. I didn't practice nothing. But I came and spoke to the 12 kids, and the lady was so happy that I spoke to these kids. Everything that I said was just straight out of my heart. Like, I didn't practice anything. But it was like a good 45 minutes speaking to these kids. And it was amazing. She was very happy. She's the Lincoln coordinator. She's in charge of Lincoln here. I remember she gave me some flowers when I first came to this street here. Yeah, this was so amazing. A couple weeks after that, she tells me, "Do you want to be on TV?" She brings TMJ4 into my barbershop, you know. So I was so happy about that. First, they asked me if I wanted to do an interview. I was so happy. I was like, "Yeah, let's do the interview." Then a couple days later, they came in. We did the interview. We were done. They said, "We'll air it out in about 6 weeks." I remember this was like Halloween time. So six weeks pop up, and I don't hear about no podcast. I mean, I don't hear about nothing, no news, nothing, you know. So I'm like, they probably aired it out and I didn't see it, or they probably threw the file away, you know. But nope, they aired it out like 8 months later. It was a great feeling. I didn't even know. It was on there for like 2 days, and somebody calls me, one of my friends, and he goes, "Manny, you're on the news." And I'm like, "What, on the news?" He was like, "Yeah, here." And he sent me the video. And I'm like, "What?" And I see myself, and I was so happy. Dude, you guys could not imagine how happy I was. Because something I worked so hard for. You don't know how hard it is to get on the news. And I finally made it. You know, this is like a dream come true. My barbershop is on the news, guys. So, yeah, I'm very happy, you know, that this happened. And I couldn't be happier, you guys, you know. Being on the news, you know, seeing all my friends and everybody being so happy for me just gives me more strength to keep going and do more. You know, when my clients come in and they seen me or they heard about it, you know, they're so happy. They know I'm for real. Everyone knows I'm serious about this. You know, this is a dream come true, guys. This is something that I've been working on my whole life, and I finally made it. And I finally got to tell the community about it and tell you guys exactly what's in my heart. But yeah, the news, that's something that went great. I could not be happier. And if you guys want to look it up, it's on my block. It's called My Block on TMJ4. It's on YouTube. It aired out like a week ago, maybe 5 days ago, something like that. So if you guys want to look that up, you guys will see me on there. Something great for the community, something positive, talking about Lincoln and all the other little businesses around here. They picked 5 businesses out. It was mine, the flower place, a restaurant across the street, eyelash store down the block, and then what was it? Ben's Bicycles. So yeah, we got a couple places on there from our neighborhood, and that was so good that you know that we did that. You know, the feedback is great. Everyone is so happy that Lincoln Village finally made it on TV. Nobody was expecting Lincoln Village to be on TV. So that is so great. I want to say thank you to everyone that appreciated for me to be coming on TV. Everyone that seen me and was like so happy to see me there. Thank you guys. But but everything was great. Thanks to everyone that always been here helping me. Thanks to everyone that when I first opened, the ones that helped me do the floor, the ones that helped me paint, the ones that helped me pass business cards out. I remember it took forever. The first couple weeks were pretty empty. You know, when you first open up a shop, no one knows it's even open. When I first came, it still looked like a tax place in here because we had to remodel it into a barber shop. And I remember I started cutting hair. I did the floor and I painted and I started cutting hair right away. So I started working on the barber shop while I'm cutting hair. It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful experience. I remember doing it like that years ago when I helped another person with their barber shop that I used to work at. I helped them with their business. We started off from the bottom, and I remember that we moved over there without nothing. You know, there was still carpet in there. So I remember there were so many people that were negative towards it. Oh, you're leaving over there. It looks like a tax place. But me, I've been through so much in life. So many jobs I worked at, you know, cutting hair, that I know that this was gonna work. But you know, if you don't know, if you never been through it, you wouldn't understand it. But yeah, when we did it, I felt the same way because it was my first time. Is this even gonna work? We moved from one place to another without really telling anyone, and it worked. It worked because, you know, when you put your hard work into something and you've been working cutting hair so much and so long, there's no way it's not gonna work. But people don't understand that, you know. I've been doing this since I was a kid, and I worked so hard passing out flyers, passing out business cards, you know. So it really, you know, rewarded me with something now. And I want to thank everyone that helped me get there from day one. It wasn't easy. It was a procedure that I had to go through to get here. I remember, you know, being so sad because I couldn't find a building that was close to the shop I worked at so I can keep all my customers. I was looking for a building in my neighborhood for a couple years and I couldn't find one. I finally found the right place, and I was so happy. You know, we got to working on it right away, and I made it work. You know, so I'm really thankful to everyone that helped me. You know, thank you for helping me. Thank you for helping me achieve my dream. It wasn't easy, but we got here, and I'm gonna try to take a couple people on my video. I don't know how that works, but I'm really happy that you guys helped me, and everything's coming out so good. 2-year anniversary, April 1st. So I couldn't be happier, guys. You know, thank you so much. I also have some upcoming events coming up. I don't know if you guys remember, a couple years back, we did free haircuts for the kids. We did, what was it? The first one we did was for my grand opening. Yeah, my grand opening, we gave out free haircuts, and it was amazing. I remember we had a line of kids that first day we did it. I bought 21 pizzas. We gave free haircuts. That was our first time we did it. We bought 21 pizzas from Pizza Hut. The guy gave me a good ass deal on the pizzas, and we bought 21 pizzas. That was the first time I did it, and we gave out free haircuts. It worked out so good. Everything was great. We had a beautiful event. The community was really happy. Then I did my second event. It was also really great. I remember we gave out free backpacks to the whole neighborhood. We had, like, they were filled with supplies, as I remember. They were filled with supplies. We filled them up to the top. We bought notebooks, pencils, everything that we needed, you know, for this event. And everyone was really happy. Every kid that came got a haircut, left with a backpack. I remember I invited Tito to come cut hair. Tito and his girl came. She was here, and he was here. They were helping me with my event, and it was great. He was cutting hair. He brought a couple of his friends and a couple of his customers, and it was a really good event. We got together and we made it work. I couldn't be happier. My friends that helped me with this event, I really appreciate you. I will be having more events eventually, just like these, so stay posted. But yeah, then we did another one for Halloween where I did I think it was $10 haircuts for Halloween, and we gave out pizza for the kids, and that worked out great too. Tito came, and we had a great time. Everything was great. He did a bunch of haircuts. I did a bunch of haircuts. Yeah, we let everyone know, Halloween haircuts. I remember I had all my animatronics there, my Frankenstein, my Chucky, all of them. I have a bunch of animatronics, and I turned them all on, so every time somebody walked by, they would move. And that was really great, a good experience having the community come to my barbershop for that event. It was great. But when I first opened the barbershop, I remember we did an event that Cinco de Mayo, 5th of May, at the Chase, on Chase. It's right there where Chuck E. Cheese is at and Umos is at. Every year they do an event there. They celebrate. It's a festival. They have a bunch of different vendors there, a bunch of people. They invited us on my first year when I first opened. The first week I opened, they invited us there. I remember we were outside cutting hair. It was so hot. We were out there doing free haircuts for the kids. Spider-Man came with me. Spider-Man had the board. He was standing outside. It said Manny Styles, and he was dressed as Spider-Man. So everybody was so happy. They were coming towards us. We had about 300 people watching me cut hair. He was just, with the board and, talking to the kids and, interacting with the kids and stuff. So that worked great. That worked really great. Things were really good. I remember it was so hot. I got burnt up from the sun. It was like, Jesus Christ. It was so hot. So this year, we're planning to do that again. Me and Spider-Man were talking about going there and doing another event, just like that one. We're hoping that, we don't know yet, but we're going. I mean, we know for sure we're going, but we were just talking about it, just making sure we're going and stuff. So we got to make sure we have a tarp this year, because it gets really hot, and hopefully it won't rain, because that first week of May, it always rains a lot. So looking forward to going to that event. Really happy about that. The thing with events is that the marketing, everything you get from it, it helps. It helps people know that your business is, heading forward. You don't have to do events. I really don't want to do too many events. But I'll do a couple. I'm thinking of doing that one, going to cut hair for free, just to give something back to the community. I feel like, one day, give back after everything God gave me, it's just free hair, because I won't be doing anything but cutting hair. I'll be outside in the heat, cutting hair. It ain't easy, guys, trust me, but it's something that I like to do, something that I feel good doing. And I can't wait till we do it. It's gonna be amazing. Just being out there, just seeing all those faces and people looking at me cutting hair. You guys don't know how that feels with the amount of experience that I have. When I go to these events and I see people looking at me cutting hair and they're so happy I'm there. It really makes me happy to give the community something to look forward to different. So I might be there this 5th of May with Spider-Man. He will be dressed as Spider-Man just like that one day. Kids love that, and we didn't plan it out or nothing. We just went, and it worked out good. So we're thinking that this year we'll do it again, just to, it's my 2nd anniversary, and we want to give back to the people once in a while. So I'm thinking we'll do a couple hours of free haircuts outside. Something very humble, very nice, you know. Um, Also, I want to do another event eventually for the kids, like when school starts. But that won't be for a while. Um, but yeah, we will be there with Spider-Man. So look forward to that. Um, Thank you guys for always, supporting Manny Styles. Um, Keep listening. We will try to reward someone with a free haircut, some free clippers. I gotta organize something where one of my listeners or someone that keeps listening to me can get a reward out of this. Uh, I don't know yet what I'm gonna give, but I know I'm gonna give out a free haircut and maybe a pair of clippers. Um, so keep posted for that. Um, Thank you guys so much for watching me. I couldn't be more happier to have my podcast and be able to speak to you guys about things that I like to do, things that I, do in my barbershop on a daily basis. So every Wednesday I'll try to give you guys a podcast about it. But yeah, we will be rewarding someone that, you know, if you were constantly watching my stuff and I noticed, you're constantly commenting, you're constantly watching me. After a couple podcast, I'll figure out which listener is gonna get a free haircut. We're definitely gonna film it. We'll film it. We'll probably do my podcast cutting his hair. You know, I don't know if you guys would like to see that. Comment if you guys want to see that. Me cutting hair maybe and talking. That'll be something I probably do in the future. But I'm definitely really happy and really stoked about giving a reward to someone that earns it on my channel. So looking forward to that. I watch channels all the time on YouTube and I see how they grow, and I see how long it takes for a podcast to actually make it. It's not easy, you got to do constant, stuff. You got to constantly film, constantly put stuff every week. So it's not easy. I want you guys to support me. If you have any ideas, you can always inbox me. Look for Manny Styles on Instagram. Look for Manny Styles on Facebook. Inbox me. Tell me what your ideas are. If you guys see I do something bad, I'm here to take any criticism. It's okay. I'm a grown man. So, yeah, it's a simple little podcast. It's me and my friends and family. We get to talk a little bit about Manny Styles, about the things that he likes to do, his business, keep you guys updated on things that I do here, events, things with my customers. It's a podcast. I can pretty much talk about whatever I want. If you guys have any ideas, you can also inbox me and send me an idea. Hey, Manny, you should talk about this. Or if you want to be on my podcast, you can also inbox me. We can try to organize something. I have a couple people that want to be on it already, but it's going to take me a little bit of while to organize and see which one's going to be my first one I'm going to bring. I'm new at it, so you guys, give me a little time to organize my stuff, but I'm really happy that this is happening, and I'm going to give it a try, give my best. Is Manny Styles, one of the best in town, cutting hair since I was a little kid, and I'm going to give my all to this, give you my 100%, So thank you guys, and also I want to speak to you guys. There's another thing I want to speak to you guys about is you guys don't know how good it feels to achieve the things that I achieved, right? After so long me cutting hair, after so many years, I finally made it. I finally have nice people coming in my barbershop, professional people, teachers, bankers, I have cops, I have different people from the community that come here. That's a beautiful feeling, guys. You guys don't know how hard I achieved this, like how hard it took to achieve this. I finally have nice people coming in my barbershop. After 20 years, I got important people that rely on me for haircuts every week. That is a beautiful feeling. I had a couple months ago, I had a guy, Mikey Thier. He's a famous baseball player. I got to cut his hair, and I got to cut his hair one time before that. I didn't even know that he was a famous baseball player. The second time he came for a haircut, he opened up to me and he told me, I don't really like telling a lot of people about it, because I feel like they can harm me or do something to me, or just, that's the type of guy he is. He likes to keep things to himself. But yeah, he finally opened up to me and told me, Manny, I used to play for the Major League Baseball. I said, what? He said, yeah, Baltimore Orioles. I said, no way. Yeah, he used to play with them, and I looked him up. Mike Ethier. It was amazing. He was a really good player. I seen his stats. He was like somebody very important back in the day. He made it, and he's from Milwaukee. He was playing baseball, he said, and he broke his arm while he was batting, so he couldn't play no more. But I think he played, he said, 13 years for Major League Baseball. That was a good feeling to get to cut someone's hair in the community that special. He picks me to cut his hair. The day he came with that baseball, it was like one of his fouls. His first foul. Yeah, his first foul. He gave me his first foul baseball. I was so happy he gave me that. I have it right by my TV, and I always look at it at night before I go to sleep. Every night. The little baseball is right there. And it's a beautiful thing. It's not about the value. It's not about nothing like that. It was given to me by someone so special. And I appreciate things like that. When someone gives me something, I appreciate it. I never throw it away. I never give it away. That was a gift to me, and it's so special. If Mikey Thier sees this, thank you for coming to my shop for a haircut. It was amazing. It was an amazing experience cutting your hair. I know you'll be back soon. You let your hair grow for a little while. But he comes like every 6 months. He doesn't come like us young guys. We come every week. Every week we get a haircut. Me, I get it almost every day. But some of my customers, they come every week, So yeah, it was a very, nice thing, a beautiful experience to cut Mike Ethier's hair. But yeah, we're going to start wrapping it up, guys. Just want to tell you guys, stay updated for my new podcast every week. Stay watching. We're coming strong. We're coming good. And with faith and God, in front of me, there's going to be nothing that I cannot achieve. So, thank you. And I will see you guys on my next podcast next week, Wednesday. I film it on Wednesday. I'm not sure if it's going to be put on right on Wednesday. I think it's going to be either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. I have to do a couple little things. But yeah, look forward to my podcast every week. Manny Styles is not the best, but we're going to get there. Thank you. God bless.